Alrighty then, we are gonna make baked ziti. Dead easy, doing it from food storage. I have got my 1 pound ground beef here that I have defrosted from my Food Saver bag. I have got a pound of ziti, and you're thinking, oh my God, I don't have any ziti pasta. You know what you use? You use bow tie, you use penne. You use what you have, okay? So don't sweat that. A tomato paste, a diced tomatoes, and I have some leftover ricotta. So in this, I've got my own dehydrated oregano. I've got a tablespoon of basil, a tablespoon of dried oregano, ½ teaspoon salt, and a ¼ teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to chop up an onion. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna saute that onion in a little bit of oil, then I'm gonna put my ground beef in there, mix those together. My topping is going to be a cream cheese softened with the ricotta and a cup of Parmesan cheese. Because times are what they are right now, I may not use a full cup of my Parmesan cheese, but it's very easy to make that adjustment. So you don't need to see me chop and saute an onion or brown off some ground beef. So I'll come back to you when I have that done and we'll start to get it done. Very easy. If you have a large family, everyone gets a small portion, and hopefully you'd make a big thing of crusty bread. So anyway, gonna give this a whirl, have something where we can have a couple days of leftovers from. Baked ziti, it's what's for dinner. And don't forget at this time to keep doing things that you normally do. I keep Ziplocs in my freezer as I peel onions or unwanted ends of celery, carrots, those type things. I'm still putting those into my Ziploc bags. I keep this in the freezer so that when it's time to make stock, whether it's turkey, chicken, or beef, I have these bags to use to throw in there. So don't forget to keep doing the things you were. The end of the onion that is the dirty root end, that goes into my island container for my compost pile. So this is the time to really manage all the things that you use. This is something most canners do, and this is something that I hope most people who've not been doing it get in the habit of using. No waste. This can be repurposed, not repurchased, and the skins of your onion is what gives your broth a beautiful color. So don't forget to keep doing the normal things you were doing. If you have not been doing this, start. You don't have to can chicken broth. You can put bones on to cook through the day, 6 to 8 hours, throw in your vegetable scraps, and you can pour that into your ice trays. And if you don't have ice trays, you can certainly get them at the Dollar General. And then place those, it takes a full ice tray to make 1 pint of chicken broth, beef broth, whatever you have. So make sure you focus on very little waste, just like you have been doing, or if you haven't, you're gonna start. And also a tomato sauce from Home Canned Goods, and I'm gonna use about a tablespoon of garlic in this. Still ain't hard. So while my onions are sauteing, I'm going to open my softened cream cheese, and you do have to have this quite softened to be able to mix it up. And I'm gonna put some of my ricotta. Oh, so gooey. Okay. And then this is what I'm gonna put, normally would put a cup of Parmesan. I'm not gonna put that much. Parmesan's extremely expensive. I have some frozen, of course, but it's not something I absolutely have to use. So I might put 1/4 to 1/2 cup, and this mixes very easily with a big fork. This will be placed on top of our ziti when we get it in a greased casserole dish. So I'm gonna grate up some of my Parmesan. I have my pasta water on, And if you do not own one of these little animals, you should get one. They're about $14, and they are fantastic for shaving off Parmesan. If you're not good at these things, you can lay it over the top of your bowl. It will slice your finger off if you're not careful, so just be careful. Sort of like using a mandolin, okay? It's not for weenies, but you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So I'm gonna mix just with what I'm comfortable with. When you get to the end of your rind to Parmesan, don't throw that away. That's some righteous flavor that you can lay right into ziti that you're making, spaghetti that you're making. Again, don't give anything up. Use it to the end. And this empty container of ricotta, I will wash and save it. Because I'm on a septic tank, I keep these type things so that I can capture any grease, put it in these, and dispose of it. And it does not go down my septic tank. And it's a little container, right? I ain't putting food in it like mac and cheese, but I'm gonna put some things I don't want in my garbage disposal to go down, so these sit to the right of my sink. I paid for that container, you know, when I bought it. My topping is mixed, and I have buttered. You can use bacon grease, spray on oil, 1 small casserole dish. I prefer a deep casserole to say a 9 by 13, so it's a little bit deeper. And if I have to use 2 casseroles, I will, because it's 16 ounces of ziti pasta. So we'll see. So our onions are going, and I'm gonna put in my small amount of spices now and sort of get them around in this and get them hot. I'm also gonna do the same thing with my tomato paste. Let's see if I can, there we go, sorry about that. So I'm gonna get my tomato paste here and get that a little toasty. And get my fingers to work, there we go. If you don't wanna do this, you don't have to. I ain't bossing you. Love these tiny spatulas. I'm gonna pay for this tomato paste by the ounces. I'm gonna get it all. I done paid for it. I'm gonna get it. So I'm gonna move that around, and I'm gonna get my small amount of garlic in there. I did this same thing with my spices when I made my jambalaya. And so that my spices were poured over that rice and coated all of it. And to me, it makes a huge difference in the flavor, as does getting this tomato paste in here. And now, let me get this moving a little bit, and I'm gonna add and brown my ground beef. Oh, it smells good. Yeah, buddy. Let me smush this around a wee bit. God, lost my knife. That ain't easy to do. So our ground beef is browned. We're gonna add in our crushed tomatoes. Well, they're petite diced tomatoes. We've already got our tomato paste in here, and I did taste it, and it did not need anything. But before you add this other stuff, taste that ground beef where you had your spices in there and the tomato paste and the onion, and see if it needs anything new. Now our own home canned tomato sauce. And this will come together very quickly. It's why I don't have my pasta in yet. Is once my pasta is cooked, I'm going to add it to this pot and incorporate it. And then that mixture of ricotta, Parmesan, and cream cheese will be dabbled on the top, and this hot pasta mixture will help it to spread over the top. You can certainly have a salad with this. We're gonna do some crusty bread, and and a little bitty salad. The one thing we've been able to find is produce. And let me encourage you to do this with your spouse, with your kids through this. Be as positive as you can, okay? It's not like faking it till you make it. Everybody is stressed out, but you're gonna do the best with what you can get at the grocery store, or if you're a home canner, dehydrator, like many of us, you're gonna do the best you can with your food stores inside. But I'm not going through, oh yeah, it's a party over here. Oh no, because I don't know how long it'll be till I can get more chuck roast, more chicken, and more things to restock the list I'm keeping of everything I've used, including this 1 pound of ground beef that I took out of my freezer. So control your food storage while still providing good meals for your family. Keep a good attitude, knowing this is temporary and for a limited amount of time. If you're on a tight budget, this is the time to drop those gym memberships, plus they're closed. Get them out of your checking account. Anything extra that you know you need to pinch those pennies for. You know you have to have a cell phone or a home phone for when times are better and you're looking for a job. And you need to call people. And also check on an elderly neighbor. If there's somebody who sits on their porch all the time who you haven't seen, maybe zip up there, knock on the door with your knuckles, the back of your hand, stand out in the yard and just tell them, I hadn't seen you, are you okay? Just communicate with somebody who may be home alone. I'm thankful that I still have a spouse and I'm not here by myself, and it would mean a lot. And it has to many of the single women in our neighborhood whose husbands have passed in the last year. Beach communities tend to be older people that we text them or call them. I left a fun little package. I texted and said, don't look out the door until I knock. And then I had a little gift bag there for them. And it was a gift bag that I've had for over 2 years. So I know it wasn't cootified. And I just put them some fresh bread in it, a couple slices of fresh bread, and actually some Oreos, because I know she loves Oreos. And just little things. It could be anything. Do something nice. Be nice. This calls for mushrooms. I don't think it needs mushrooms. I've never put mushrooms in Ziti, and I ain't a-fixing to use my Thrive dehydrated mushrooms, nor my precious jars of home canned mushrooms. I just don't think it's necessary. So some things just ain't going in some recipes. What is it? Adjust and overcome. Alrighty, now we got to incorporate our drained penne, pasta, ziti, whatever you want to call it, tubular pasta in here. Get my big spoon. So I've got this down on low. So far it is not difficult to squish this in there. Because that's a lot of pasta. Nine minutes is what I did. All we're doing in the oven is getting that topping to melt. The cream cheese, the ricotta, and the Parmesan. So it's going to cook at 350 for 20 minutes. And it's just easier to incorporate this in small amounts as opposed to just dumping it. Now I'm going to turn that heat off. And I'm going to put the rest of mine in here, because I got over half of it before. So I'll bring you back after I get all of this coated. All you're going to do is stir. And also something else to think at this time, be very careful. If I had a kid over, they wouldn't be on a skateboard. I was very careful, wore my high gloves to pour out that hot water into the colander. This ain't the time, people, to break a wrist, get a 3rd-degree burn, and need to go to the hospital. I have always been a handrail holder going downstairs. Of course, I'm in a house 9, 10, 12 feet up in the air. Can't never remember. Because my husband was in construction, and if you're on a job site and did not use that handrail, you got written up because it's unsafe. So do everything more careful than you have before to stay safe. So I got a little more stirring to do. I'll bring you back. It was enough for 2 casseroles. I've got my oven preheating, and now I want to drop this ricotta mixture because I need it to spread itself out from the heat of this pasta. Gonna dab it onto both of them. It may not be pretty, but it's sure gonna be good. Husband's gotta get some iced. I-C-E-T. Will you get me a spoon, Vern?
Spoon?
Yeah, a spoon, like a soup spoon out of the regular.
Okay.
Trade you that fork. Whoops, made a little turd. Yes, sir. Thank you kindly.
Okay.
Did you wash your hands?
I had them sprayed as I left the pile.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to spread this out over the top. Oh, it is working from the heat of the pasta. Nice. Because I ain't wasting none of that. 350, 20 minutes should be fabulous. Can feed a lot of people with this. And our local grocery store is so kind now. They've caught up with things. They're able to spray your hands as you're leaving the store. Now that could not be cooler. All right, 350, 20 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like when I come back. Let me smash around. Looking good. Okay, see you soon. In the middle of that, my husband came home with groceries because on Wednesday, it's Senior Citizen Discount Day. So, here they are, looking quite yummy, really quite hot. But I did, with those groceries, while this was in the oven, wipe them down with my bleach mixture, just like the video I did of what I do with groceries when they come in my home. Let's see what the smaller one is like, even though it's so piping hot. Oh, nice. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, yeah, it's hot all the way down the bottom, yeah. So it did melt that topping very nicely. Wiping down groceries is a serious PITA, P-I-T-A, okay? Pain in the patukas. So anywho, I'm gonna give this a try. Hope I don't burn my mouth off. Oh yeah, Oh, I really like that cream cheese and ricotta topping. Very, very nice. So no matter how inconvenient it is, still wipe down those groceries with your bleach and water mixture. Stay safe, have a great one, and use your food storage wisely and do the best you can with what you have.